Whether you have recently installed a new heat pump or have had one for years, proper thermostat settings are important to ensure your comfort and maximize energy savings. If you followed common advice and set your thermostat back at night to save money, a higher-than-expected bill might come as a surprise. You may start to question whether your heat pump is working properly, and if it is, why it isn't saving you as much money as promised. In this video, we'll talk about thermostat setbacks and auxiliary heat systems and learn how to avoid expensive surprises with new and existing heat pumps. First, it's important to understand what heat pumps do not do. Heat pumps do not create heat like a toaster or furnace that burns fuels. Instead, they move heat from one location to another. This is similar to how a refrigerator works. But in the case of heat pumps, they move heat from the outdoor air. It takes much less energy to move heat than to create new heat, which makes these systems extremely efficient. However, this can limit their ability to move heat from outside to inside when outdoor temperatures drop. Because of this, heat pumps are best at keeping very consistent temperatures inside a home and like when temperature settings are consistent. But when the thermostat is set back overnight or while gone for the day, many heat pumps take much longer than people expect to recover indoor temperatures. This recovery time can take hours, especially when it's very cold outside. The backup may be a furnace that burns natural gas or propane. Systems with a fossil fuel backup are often called dual-fuel heat pumps. If the backup is electric resistance, the heat pumps are an all-electric system. In an all-electric system, if the thermostat says supplemental heat or auxiliary heat, sometimes abbreviated as Aux Heat, this means that backup heat is running to help the heat pump maintain steady temperatures. This is often normal operation, but it is also easy to trigger the backup heat unintentionally. In a dual-fuel system, auxiliary heat means the furnace is operating on its own when outdoor temperatures drop below a set point. Heat pumps and furnaces are not designed to run at the same time. Emergency heat is different from auxiliary heat. When a system is operating in emergency heat mode, the thermostat disables the heat pump and runs only on the backup heat source. In an all-electric system, emergency heat means only the electric resistance backup is operating. This can occur if the outdoor unit is not functioning properly, or if the installer configured a compressor lockout in the thermostat. A compressor lockout prevents the heat pump from operating below a selected outdoor temperature. In the Pacific Northwest, this setting is not recommended, since all modern heat pumps are designed to perform well even in colder temperatures. The systems will automatically switch to auxiliary heat or even emergency heat as needed. Auxiliary heat usually comes on for one of two reasons. Either the heat pump alone cannot move enough heat from outside to maintain a steady indoor temperature, or the thermostat determined that auxiliary heat is needed to recover indoor temperatures quickly. When a thermostat is turned down overnight, the need to raise the home's temperature in the morning will almost always tell the thermostat to engage auxiliary heating. This is the fastest way to get the home back to a higher temperature. For an all-electric system, this one large setback can easily erase your savings. For most homes, a good starting point is no setback. If you find that to be comfortable at night you need to lower the temperature, only go a degree or two. If you find that you need to have a setback larger than 2 degrees, your system will need to recover those temps for a loss in efficiency. Heat pumps have a setting to restrict auxiliary heating above a certain outdoor temperature. This may be called auxiliary heat lockout or maximum outdoor temperature for auxiliary heat. Sometimes this is verbally referred to as strip heat lockout. The setting for all electric systems should be based on a thermal balance point worksheet. This worksheet calculates the outdoor temperature where the home's heating load matches the output of the heat pump. This balance point should never be higher than 32 degrees. Lockout does not always guarantee that auxiliary heat stays off. Many thermostats include comfort-based settings such as adaptive recovery or comfort mode. These features are designed to maintain indoor comfort, but some of them can override a lockout. This occurs when the thermostat determines the temperature gap is too large or recovery is taking too long. Understanding how these modes are configured is important. In some thermostats, enabling comfort mode restricts certain staging settings and lets the system automatically manage recovery and auxiliary heat. If you want strict control over auxiliary heat usage, you may need to adjust the thermostat's default recovery settings. Due to varying thermostats and terminology, this is usually best handled by a professional. Auxiliary heating is not always bad. In fact, it is an important feature of many heat pumps. It exists to handle very cold weather and provides support when the heat pump can't meet the home's heating demand. If you have high electric bills or keep seeing auxiliary on your thermostat when it's not very cold outside, check for these 3 conditions. Are you setting back the thermostat more than 2 degrees? Is your thermostat set to comfort mode or utilizing the default comfort settings? Does your system have an auxiliary heat setting that is configured incorrectly? Heat pumps are an outstanding way to provide steady, consistent comfort, but the thermostat decides how the system behaves, especially during setbacks. Small changes, smart scheduling, and proper setup can keep you comfortable and make your heat pump stay energy efficient year-round. For more on heat pumps and efficiency, visit comfortreadyhome.com. There, you can download the supplemental information sheet linked with this video.